Dear beloved friends, welcome. I am Julian, and we are again doing the Facebook Live and free show by Joyful Freedom. So just give me a second that I take care of this official stuff on Facebook, that I share this webcast in few groups, and that I make it public. All right, I just made it public. And hello. I am absolutely excited to share this with you today. Let me know in the comments if something maybe wouldn't be working or there would be any issues with sound or video. However, I tested it all, so I think we should be good to go. And today's topic just came to me spontaneously, and I entitled the show, "Is Money Even Spiritual?" That's gonna be interesting to talk about that. Absolutely. So a little bit more, and I'm with you. Good. And it's gonna be all about joy. Absolutely, it's gonna be all about joy, because the joy enables us to really start experiencing also abundance in many areas of our life. But before I go deeper into that topic, I'm gonna invite you to just play with a few soft deep breaths. The water is always welcome as well. And I feel like I should create, not should, but I'm choosing to create a team of people who are gonna play with these shows here with me, that they can do this technical stuff, to share this in some groups and so on, because I just want to sit here and play and talk and have fun in that kind of way. So this is something I am considering, absolutely. And it's gonna happen probably pretty soon, or I will somehow make this absolutely automated. Let's see. Let's see what's gonna come up. And all right, one sharing is done. And now one more sharing, and then we're good to go. However, I can express to you in between, because you see, I'm playing with few expressions of myself at the same time. And this can be a great point, that we are absolutely multidimensional beings, and we can create in many areas in the same moment, at the same time. And we are actually doing that all the time. However, we are mostly not aware of it as the limited human beings. But as the souls that we are in our essence, well, that is another story. So, all right, now I shared it to few groups. It's also going live on my wall, and it will be available later on YouTube. I invite you all to take a few deep breaths together with me, together with your own eternal soul. And let's just relax. Again, just like I addressed you in the first webcast I recorded, I don't know, about a week ago. And I said, this is a beautiful space to simply relax and feel safe and feel loved, and to surrender into the arms of you, the soul, the presence. And I'm here as your friend. I'm here as your friend. You see, the Joyful Freedom Academy serves the beginner and intermediate levels of discovering yourself, which is already pretty, it can be pretty intense, it can be absolutely very exciting and very transformative as well. And then the advanced levels are being done through Luxury Masters Academy that I, Julian, with the Luxury Masters Academy team created some time ago. And I love to play in these expressions. And for all of you who want to know more about it, I invite you to go to the Joyful Freedom website under the seminars section, and you can find the first webcast that I recorded 1 week ago there. And I said I was going to play with all this. I was going to play with all this in a way that it's not going to be defined directly on which day, at which hour am I going to start recording these shows, because I want to experience also through this expression, this joyful freedom of living. That's it. And today, again, I had a little bit of idea to start around 7, 8. You see, now it's 2020. I played with the sound and video a little bit before the show. However, I don't want to put any definitions anymore on myself or any of you, any of my expressions. I can have the intention, or let's call it the assumption, how the things will unfold, and especially when I'm going to host the guests, and the guests are coming soon in the shows in the next weeks. And so when I'm going to have some guests here, yes, then we will go and set the date just for the sake of organization. But it will also be just beautifully, fluently embedded in this easy flow of life. That's it. So yeah, is money even spiritual? That's a great question. And I also don't limit how long these webcasts are gonna last and all of that. Oh, I got a comment. And beautiful, good luck with your shows. Thank you very much. Yes, I recorded a lot of shows already in the previous year and in 2017. However, these expressions are going to be much more suitable and available to everyone who is ready to step on this awakening path, or for everybody who are already there. They're not going to be so directly dedicated to those of us who are in the last stages of embodied enlightenment, so to speak, just to clarify it all. So cheers. Okay, I got a few things here. Let's see what I can do. I'm using the BeLive TV, and this BeLive TV is actually an interesting app that is enabling me to play and to share in such a way that I do. I'm usually using Zoom.us, which is the best video platform in my opinion for such shows. However, this live app TV, BeLive TV, is enabling me to have some functions that I usually don't, and that is good. And that is good, yes. Okay, I'm gonna read this comment. I'm starting to awakening, and it's tough because you really see things so clear, and sometimes I don't want to see. Beautiful, beautiful. And thank you for commenting and sharing your perspective here and what you're feeling, because one of the things I want to provide here is actually a space where I answer and provide the clarity for all of you who are choosing it. And that's absolutely understandable that I go directly into the answer, because when when you start seeing more, when you start being aware of more, all these programs, energetic stories that you created in the past and also before the earth was even created, they start coming up because they try to keep you in the old story, not because they would want something bad for you. Let me be very clear. Just because you told them to serve you in such way, you told them you don't want to remember who you truly are, this limitless, grand, eternal being, that you could play in this dimension in such a limited way. And it was fun. Let's be clear. Everybody who is saying that they don't want to have the experiences that they are having, they are simply not in the awareness that they are having fun on certain level. It can be very bizarre, but we as the souls have chosen to play in the limited dimension in such way so that we could experience this sense of focus, this sense of forgetting who we are. You see, you are such a grand creator that you actually created the illusion of forgetting who you truly are. And you are a lot. So let's take a breath with that. And everybody who's going to be watching this later, I'm inviting you to feel into your own resistance towards remembering your true soul nature, which is not better or worse than the human nature. It is just different and it is unlimited. Please few soft deep breaths into this remembering of your eternal essence. That doesn't know no limits. And that also doesn't understand this dimension. Let's be clear. We need to take the human self in consideration here. And by the human self, I mean your physical body, your mind, your emotions. Because the human consists of physical body, emotions, thoughts, mind, and all of the previous lifetimes, mass consciousness, which is also part of, and karma, and so on. But this is all just a game. Yes, it is all just a game. And in this game, we had a lot of fun, also in the extremely painful way, because the free conscious being realizes that the pain and suffering and resistance are actually simply the energies that were serving you from the limited way. And they are not good, they are not bad. There is no darkness, there is no light, as it is perceived in usual spiritual circles. You are the true light, but the true light is beyond dark and light. And yes, I am cutting through some illusions, which I love to do. However, I'm also absolutely acceptive and in compassion to everybody who is on their enlightened path. Because you see, there are no 1 million people watching this session here, although I'm sharing amazing wisdom, which I realized through my own experiences and through the explorations of this earth in many lifetimes and also through the universe. But you see, people are saying they want to remember, but when they really have the opportunity to remember, a lot of them close up. But that we don't get too serious about that. It's not your problem. It's not my problem. And that was also still the answer to the question that the beautiful being asked me before. And yes, it is the normal reaction, because you have to face your dragon. You have to face your own fears. You have to face your own tears. You have to face the things you don't want to see about yourself, because it is kind of a tendency that we just want to be good and that everything is pleasant and so on and so on. However, if you really allow yourself to remember energetically all that you are, eventually, of course, and essentially, it will bring up everything inside of you. That's why I also created the Academy, Joyful Freedom and Luxury Masters, to serve you, to make this process easier. That's why I, with my team, provide about 70 to 80% of sessions and shows for free like that. And I will gladly do so. Why not? Why not? It is my dear pleasure. And for those of you who want to go deeper, then there are other services available that you can check on joyfulfreedom.life webpage or luxurymastersacademy.com. So yeah, and also the money, because I entitled the money, is money even spiritual? The money is part of the game. It is part of you, firstly, not owning your pricelessness, your priceless beauty. Because if you own that you are the soul energetically, then all these energetic patterns that believed in lack, that you were playing in, like being not deserving, that you have to work hard in order to be deserving, and so on and so on. There are so many layers of it. All of this needs to be addressed in order to allow the easy flow of money, easy flow of abundance. It is another thing if you just go and have a job and you work for the normal payment, or even if you work many, many hours in some business areas, or I don't know, as the very famous person, they didn't usually choose this integration, this freedom in such a way as those of you who are watching here are either going to be choosing or are choosing it now. Because if you are addressed with this consciousness here, you are here for a certain reason. And that's just the way it is. No sugarcoating here, and also no fucking around. I love to call it that way, because a lot of fun and joy of life starts flowing through you when you let yourself feel these wounded parts. And when you let yourself feel the wounded parts without judgment, and I mean energetically, that's why also the breathing, sweet, soft, loving, conscious breathing. Yeah, let's breathe a little bit. It's such a grand tool. To feel all that you are, to feel all that you are. And can you feel how quickly did the space here relax even more, just with a few breaths? And yes, abundance exists in the breath, because it's your breath, the breath of your soul and the human together. So when you start accepting all that you are, and I mean all that you are, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, and all of it, without judgment, that's when also abundance can expand in your life. And abundance is not just money. It's also your creativity, it's friendships, partnerships. I would say that actually the grandest abundance lives in knowing how to be with yourself and being energetically joyful. This pure joy, not that you need something, but that you can play. Maybe you write something, you just breathe, you have a shower, you walk, whatever. This is, in my opinion, the grandest abundance. And when I have moments like that, it's simply priceless. It's so cool. It really feels good. I'm saying it in this usual language for everybody to understand. And I also have moments when I feel totally fucked up, because the more of yourself that you want to see, the deeper fears and unresolved issues are you going to bring up. So you need to be kind of brave to truly step into the mastery of life, because everybody would want to have money, a lot of money, great partnership relationships, but they are not actually aware what does that really mean. How much of the old stories does that drag on the surface? Because it is one thing if you're not choosing the integration, the enlightenment, or the freedom, joyful freedom, and you're simply living on your autopilot in your karmic lifetime, I don't know, like a businessman, like a family man, like a singer, a lot of choices, of course. You can create quite a lot of money there, but are you truly abundant? Are you truly free? That is another question. And the easy money, as I love to call it, is built on absolute trust with yourself. And I am still getting there. It is a process, because the human self needs to open up and allow the soul to provide for it, for him, for her, without needing to do anything in the old way to be deserving of money, of love, of abundance. Please, let's breathe into that a little bit more for a few minutes if you want to. If you don't feel like it, then don't do it, because we're stirring up some energies here. It's not very intense because I'm consciously navigating. We are just having such a foreplay to touch the energies that want to be touched. And just simply and gently, you caress yourself with each and every breath. Without pushing, without rushing, simply relaxing in this moment. And there is no need for any seeking, searching. Because the whole abundance already exists and lives in this perfect moment. And yes, you also allow yourself to let go of any agenda that you need to take care of anyone, that you are responsible for anyone. You are only and firstly and foremostly responsible for yourself. Because when you are true to yourself and you listen to yourself energetically, you also show others the standard of freedom, of the new. Because if you are pleasing others and if you are trying to stay stuck so others wouldn't feel threatened by your consciousness, your presence, then you are actually playing a very old game with yourself. I know it's not easy, because the world is just not built for the enlightenment at the moment or for being a free conscious being. But that's why I am here, and the beings like I am and all of you, to make this process easier. And that you can know and feel that you are not alone. And you can highly probably feel a very deep, direct presence shining out of me. And yes, this is me as the expanded, limitless being, as much as my human self is allowing it at the moment. And I'm also not bringing it too much at the forefront now, so it doesn't scare people away. And I'm also not hiding it. I'm actually just discerning how much of myself to show in this moment that I feel absolutely comfortable, and that also the people who are joining here now and later will have the easiest and smoothest path while integrating and embodying everything that's being energetically addressed here today. And if you are part of this session in any way, you are also co-creating it with me and with other beings, and you are choosing the new way of abundance, the new way of money, the new way of self-love, because self-love is a great, great facilitator of also money in your life. But you need to be true to yourself, because the soul is just not gonna give you $1 million if you want to keep on playing with the same old issues, because it will just make your old issues bigger. You need to be ready to release energetically the old agendas, old stories, old games. Nothing wrong with them, again. We were just playing in them. But in order to be limitlessly free and have the easy money flow, easy abundance, easy relationships, you need to release the need to control as much as you can in every second. It's not a 1 second thing, although it would be amazing if it could be. If any of you can do that, my greatest compliment. And let's just say it as it is. With all my love, I'm saying it. Because although, like it was said in one question before, the resistance comes up towards allowing yourself as the real self, as the soul, together with a human here, there is still a big passion. There is a call in you to allow it. And you can, beloved friend. And the less you resist, the easier it is. And the less you resist, it doesn't persist. Because you say, all right, I am also that. You see, I am in lack. I am weak. I'm sad. I'm fearful. I don't have to be strong. I am all of that, and I'm none of that. I'm just acknowledging, yes, these were my creations, my stories, but in my essence, I am not that. I am not that I am not, because I am. I exist, and there is no definition here. To make all of this very clear. I love to play with rhymes. You see, I'm also a singer. I have my own rock and roll band, and I love to see life as a poetry. And believe me, dear ones watching this now or later, I went through a lot of shit in this lifetime and also in others, because I love to experience and explore the things into the extremes. And you know how it is. Extremes can be incredibly pleasurable as well as incredibly painful. So, yes, when all of that started to come back into integration, that I needed to accept it, yes, the human really needed to allow a lot of self-love, a lot of moments of breathing with myself, and I still do. And I needed to have a lot of conscious bravery to say, I am the soul, I am not my old stories energetically, I simply distill the wisdom from my old stories. And I'm also giving you the example here for all of you. Okay, I'm gonna expose one more comment. Oh, okay, I was able to put it on the screen now, so thank you. Oh my God, yes, I stay stuck because I worry of making others feel uncomfortable or confused or below me? Oh, so beautiful to put out that question. I thank you dearly. And it came up. I felt during the breathing, the clarity came up. So you see, breathing makes miracles. And of course, also this consciousness I am reminding you of with my consciousness, and it creates the mirror of your own. I'm not enlightening you here. You are enlightening yourself. Anyone watching this, you're simply coming in touch with your essence. I am serving, but your master, your soul is calling you. Cool, huh? So cool. Okay, I'm going to answer this question. Indeed, I actually answered it a lot between the breathing period before, but that's totally normal. Let's not judge it, because there's a part of you that is judging this energy. Why? Well, because it says you should be more perfect, you should be more enlightened. Why are you looking at others and making yourself smaller? First of all, we understand this aspect, but we don't judge it. All right. Second of all, you allow yourself to feel these energies of worrying about others and making them confused or below. And you imagine the worst case scenario in your mind, imagination, when you're sitting or laying down and just breathing with yourself, and feel it with all of the force that it can show you. It's just for the exercise, let's be clear. That's not the ultimate freedom then, but it is part of the process how to come through. And you feel that with all this worst case scenario, with all of the energy that it brings up, and you are still there with your light of consciousness. And then you realize, whoa, I was resisting in myself to feel that, which I didn't want to feel. Like how others would attack me or play the games with me, or I would feel so threatened by others, or I would feel just too much for others. Imagine this scenario and then breathe through it. You just gently and softly breathe through it. And you don't push away any energies. You don't have to push them away. You don't deny. Also, those parts that you don't want to see about yourself, your anger, and how you want to destroy them back for maybe reacting to you the way they do. And then, but the conscious being knows that it's all right, everything as it is. Just play with that exercise in any area of your life. You can use that when you are in fear, when some scenarios are coming. If you're going to breathe through them in advance, they're actually going to be much less challenging in your in your everyday life, or they even won't manifest because you will already bring them in balance in yourself. You see, because some challenges are manifesting in our lives, so they present themselves to us also through other people. Other people can be beautiful triggers. But however, okay, let's take one more breath with that. And simply release the fear. Of being the amazing light of consciousness that you are, because it's also connected with the resistance that exists in you towards being who you truly are. Excellent. And the one who asked the questions, she just said she's going to breathe through them. Lovely. And the last and the first step is actually compassion. Simply having the compassion for all of the people just the way they are, not trying to change them and not trying to change yourself as well. So you let them be exactly as they are, and if you don't feel like it, you don't have to be in their company. The new people will come in your circle when you are clear about who you are. And yes, it can cause some turmoil while you are opening up to yourself. I went through similar experiences. I also changed my name 2 times and so on, and all the people didn't like it. However, I liked it. And at first there's also anger and all of these reactions in yourself, but then you come at peace with things. And when you are at peace with what the fuck ever others think, it slowly leaves, it goes away. However, we are still on this earth, and you are gonna be a little bit challenged by some energy sometimes, also when you are deeply in your presence. But each day that you embody yourself more and more, the less you feel the influence of mass consciousness and people who are playing in this 3D reality, because you energetically understand it is simply their game. And you are welcome. It was my dear pleasure to answer you. And I also go deeper into that topics through my seminars and sessions. You can check them out on joyfulfreedom.life and luxurymastersacademy.com. And that's where we also go to the root of the whole so-called problem or the energy resistance. Yes, there are also articles, a lot of free videos. Yes, and the name change can be beautiful because it helps you to start a new story. And maybe if you, I'm not just speaking to her, I'm speaking to everybody. If you feel like not hanging around with some people for some time, you are welcome to do that. It actually can be a shortcut, so you don't go into some fights or energetic pressures while you are healing some of your wounds. Because essentially and eventually you will be able to be in the presence of anyone without any problems. However, have your own discernment when and in which way to hang around with people, and especially when you're truly living your old story. Yes. All right, we got another comment which says, I've been able to break through spiritually. It allowed more money to flow. Yes, absolutely. If you ask me, the only way to actually break through these blockages is spiritually, but spiritually in a way that it's truly pure and not mental spirituality. Again, I'm not judging here, but those of you who are going to be watching this, you are invited to go and check out all of these spiritual groups and people sharing all of these quotes and everything. It's nothing wrong with it. It is serving its purpose. However, if you truly want to be free and you are kind of flirting with that idea, if you are here or you are truly embracing this idea, then you are able to discern in these groups and all these posts and books and all of it, how much of this spirituality is still coming from the mental and how much is there still agenda of saving the world. A lot. And how it's a lot about just making your life a little bit better and not truly addressing what is the root and the cause of the limited games that we loved so much. You see, we loved them. Can you imagine that you are so limitless and you can create everything that you want? That's what we were doing in the universe in a way. And then you wanted to have the experience of how it is to be limited. Wow, what an amazing experience. But then after some time, it really didn't feel good for the human anymore. And that's why we are here now. That's why you are here now. Because you want to remember energetically that you are free. And you are. Sometimes you just need to allow some time. And that's why I created this genius idea for myself and everyone else who wants to be part of it. Like these shows, because we are already moving so much energy here. That's the way the consciousness works. And also then, as I said, deepening it in some seminars, classes, private sessions. it can be done much quicker and much easier. Because if you got someone who did go through some of the issues you're going through and they allowed consciousness to take care of it, then it also enables you to do it in much easier way. It shines on your potentials directly, quickly. Let's share a look. Yes, because the eyes are the mirrors of the soul. I love poetry, I really do. So yes, thank you for your comment. Absolutely. Spiritually, we break through it. And what does that mean? It means that we allow the light of consciousness, spirit, soul, I am presence, any way you want to call it. I love to call it enlightened presence. And it is this feeling, of limitless. It simply doesn't have a definition. You can just know that the soul is speaking here. And I can show you just a little bit, because you can feel I am explaining now as the soul together with a human. But if I bring soul a little bit more to the forefront, and then I say, yes, indeed, I am the soul enlightened presence, Julian. And can you feel me caressing you gently and caressing my human self even deeper? And yes, we are here in the space of limitless, indeed. And can you feel there are no blockages? There is nothing in my way that could stop me from being who I truly am. And I got an absolute compassion for me as the human and everybody else. But at the same time, I'm never pleasing others, because my natural expression is radiance. Thank you. Yes. A few deep breaths into that, gently, softly. And those of you who wanted to could actually truly feel how the presence expressed itself even much more tangibly, because I did it on purpose. Yes, and there is a presence inside of you as well. And this is the true solution to each and every imbalanced part of yourself. But of course, it takes some time, because you need to allow it as the human. And I wanted to do it very quickly. I still kind of did, and I'm still allowing it a lot. However, if you want to do it too quick, sometimes it can have the reverse effect. So please have your own discernment. How much are you willing to let go? Or you want to do it gradually, or you want to bring more into it. That's why I also created different levels of expressions here with my academies. You are welcome to check out more about that in the first episode of Joyful Freedom Show. Okay, we got another comment. And another comment is saying that it is really mind-blowing when I realize it is me that brought everything to me, even before I came here into body. But it's all about how I get through it that really matters. Always must be with compassion and acceptance. Well, yeah, that's the best recipe. And also some clarity is not a bad recipe, because if you only have the compassion, and please, dear one who asked that question, feel into it, then you can sometimes please others, because the compassion can be understood in the wrong ways. I'm just very, very clear here, so it's going to be easier for all of you. Absolutely, acceptance and compassion makes it all work. However, let's really be clear, what is compassion? Compassion means to be who you are without trying to change anyone else, without trying to change yourself in the old way, without trying to improve yourself. But like I did a few moments ago, expressing yourself as the limitless presence that you are, if you feel like it, in many ways, through dancing, business, art, wherever, or simply by sitting with yourself. And when other people Feel your new light being expressed now. They will not always like it, but be clear in yourself what is yours and what is not. Others can simply show you the mirror of, yes, here I still had some issues, triggers, all of that. All right, I apply compassion, energetically, I accept it as it is. And at the same time, I also have the choice, what is mine and what is not. And you can be also very clear with some others if they don't like it the way you are now. They're welcome to leave, to go away. And it's not always easy to do that. I know. But that's why subconscious bravery is kind of very welcome in this enlightenment process. So is the money spiritual? Hell yeah, it is. Even more than spiritual. Because we are still living in this human dimension. And if we want to live together with the souls and have some different kind of fun, like driving with a good car around, or going for a trip, or going to Hawaii, or to wherever you want to go, or buying yourself some beautiful clothes, having an amazing house and all of that, absolutely. Is it easy? Is it easy? I'm not saying it is easy. However, all of this we're sharing here, it is making it as easy as possible. And a lot of conscious breathing can serve you beautifully, or a little bit, as much as you feel. Because when you just breathe, you accept it all as it is. And that invites the new potentials into your life and releases the old stuck energies. And also your presence, human presence in these shows, enables your human to open up much more. You are always welcome to re-listen to this. I'm going to post that for free on my webpage, YouTube channel, and also on Facebook. So you're also welcome to share it, those of you who feel inspired, and spread the voice of the consciousness we're sharing here. Absolutely. So yeah, the money is spiritual. However, there are blocks. I created actually a special session for releasing money blockages, just with that purpose. And I'm also doing it for myself as the human. I'm very honest. Now in these weeks, even deeper, I as the soul am doing this session for me as the human. So it's pretty cool when I do it. I say, hey, Julian the human, hello, Julian the soul here. And we're having lots of fun. It's actually working. It's enabling for me in the last year much more money flow in my life than ever. However, there are still issues that needed to be addressed, especially control. Because if you really want to be easily free with money, it's not just enough to create 10,000 euros and then be nervous whether you're going to lose them or they're going to keep you safe. Of course, have enough that you don't get yourself in the situation when you don't know how you're going to survive. I was there for a few times, and I don't recommend it, because then the human has a really hard time to allow the new, because it's so deeply under the pressure of surviving. However, if you are kind of okay that you can normally eat and have the roof over your head and all of that stuff, yes, then it is up to you to release all of these blockages that you can trust. You can trust the new self of you that is going to bring you all of abundance, money, and other resources just like that in your lap, or you will just know easily which idea, which steps to take, that it can come to you. And sometimes you need to a little bit break through some mental patterns. It doesn't have to be very tough, but if some stories are really keeping you stuck, you sometimes just say, fuck it, I'm going to do it. And once you do it, you feel the freedom. And you are challenged a little bit, but still, you free yourself. And it's kind of a shortcut. Because if you're going to keep on hiding, don't expect the different solutions, because the soul is going to say, I love you so much, but I'm going to honor you in your hiding. But when you say, soul, here I am, I'm ready to shine together with you, then the soul is going to say, excellent, I honor you again. But now we can live in the different expression, abundant expression together. Because also when you are in lack, you're actually in the abundance of lack. So money is spiritual. You see, there are also many layers of this old spiritual, let me call it, beliefs that the spiritual person is not, should not be rich, and the money is gonna make you a bad person, all of that. That's absolute bullshit. Now in the new era where we are living, the masters need money to be supported in the ways that it can be truly comfortable for their human. However, don't measure your enlightenment with how much money you have. Just be in awareness that it's all about trusting the flow. Trusting the flow also in the area of money. And please never ever judge yourself and say, if I don't have enough money, I'm not masterly enough, I'm not enlightened enough. You are simply addressing the stuck energies in yourself and have the compassion for that process that it's taking place. And few deep breaths, beloved friends, for the ending of today with this flow, trusting the flow. And I thank you dearly for your participation here, and especially for those of you who are also commenting. And she said, I love the freedom of finally saying, yeah, F it. I'm going to say it. Fuck it. And accept, maybe you say it loudly as well. And accepting the flow, good or bad, just going for it. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And that's going to set you free, beloved one, like it will set anyone free who chooses to embrace this grand being that they are, that you are, that I am. I'm going to continue with new sessions, shows in the upcoming days, weeks, and so on. There's also a beautiful group called Joyful Freedom that I created, especially with the purpose that it is your true friend in awakening. I share there some videos, reminders, articles, and so on. So all of you who are feeling the call, you're welcome to join the group as well. I am Julian, and it was my dear pleasure to be here in service to all of you. I love you dearly. Thank you and goodbye.